Hey guys, and welcome to another World of Warcraft video, and I am here with another assault video and rewards guide, and this is for the Black Empire assault. This one is gonna have quite a bit of items. Black Empire assault has a lot of stuff you can go after when it's up. I call this one the pet assault. Mogu was the mount assault, and this one is definitely pets. There's only really one mount that you can go after during the Black Empire. So let's get to it. Okay, so our one and only mount that drops during this assault is the Reigns of the Drake of the Four Winds, which sounds weird when you say it that way. I think there's one too many ofs in that name. But anyway, that drops off of Ishak of the Four Winds, who is out in Aldham. He is at 7383, up in the air on a platform. Okay, so starting with the pets. This is Gloop. He can be fished up in Aldham or Vale during the Black Empire invasion. The drop rate is okay-ish. It's been reported to drop anywhere between 50 casts to 100. But there's been a couple that said it took them 400, so it's really iffy. And you might not necessarily just have to rely on the Black Empire assault. I have heard that it's been fished up during the Amethyst assault as well. So this one might just at any time be able to be fished up. This next pet is Cuddly, and he is dropped by the Forgotten, who is over in Vale of Eternal Blossoms during the Black Empire assault. And his coordinates are 5141. Okay, so this is the Wicked Lurker. There is a little technique with this one. So basically, you'll go out to Aldham during the assault and go to 6072. And there's a quest event that appears. It's called the Pyre of the Amalgamated One. And you'll activate the beacon, and waves of the flesh beasts will spawn and attack you. You kill the waves, and then a rare called Amalgamation of Flesh will spawn, and that's how you can get the pet. Next up is the Corrupted Tentacle. This one is dropped by Will of Enzoth out in Vale of Eternal Blossoms at 5262. Okay, so next up is the Void Glower. This is a wild pet. So for those that don't know what I mean by that, it means that you're going to have to kill a bunch for the battle pet to spawn so that you can target that. Rumor is that you don't actually need the assault to be active to get this one. And this one is over at the Vale of Eternal Blossoms at 3959. Next one is similar to the last one. This is the Void Skimmer. Once again, rumored that you don't need the assault to be active. And it is a wild pet, so you have to kill a bunch of them to spawn the battle pet. And you can find these ones at 7034. And this is the Void Scarred Locus. Once again, you don't need the assault to be active, and it's a wild pet, so you just kill a bunch of them till it spawns the battle pet. And you can find them at 6136. And these ones are over in Aldham. And the last pet I have for you guys is the Oasis Void Duster. Once again, don't need the assault to active, and you just kill a bunch to spawn a regular. And so this is out in Aldham and at 5030. And one thing I would just like to add before we move on to the toys is that with these pets that are wild, which is basically the last 4 pets I showed you guys, if you're having trouble spawning one, a lot of the time they can act as secondary pets during your pet battle. So you could just go after other ones and see if they end up being like the second or third pet in the mix. Okay, so on to toys. The first one is Hellbent Bracers. This drops over in Aldum off of the Grand Executor. The Grand Executor seems to be a bit of a long spawn though. I have heard of people waiting like a couple of hours for the spawn to happen. However, if you look out and you get the bracers, you basically get a buff that pretty much puts you half naked and you'll just be flexing for the 30 minutes. So it's a buff that makes you buff. Okay, so the next toy is the Budget Kathira Disguise. This one, basically, Yefrim the Will Ravager is who drops it. And he's spawned as a ritual event during the Black Empire assault over in Neferset, Aldum. And you complete it by killing Acolyte of Enzoth and then close the portal. And when it's complete, a set of 3 rares will spawn. Important to note here that you yourself can only close the portal once a day, so you will have to wait for others to complete the event to trigger the rares. So you can still try more times on the rares, but they gotta be triggered by someone else other than yourself. Okay, and the final item that you can get from this event is the All-Seeing Eyes. So this is an interesting toy and will take you probably a bit to get because you have to actually loot 2 items to have this toy. So there is the All-Seeing Left Eye. You get that from Gaze of Enzoth over in Aldum. And then there is the All-Seeing Right Eye, which you get from Will of Enzoth over in Vale of Eternal Blossoms. So once you're lucky enough to be holding on to both parts, you combine them and that's how you get the All-Seeing Eyes. Okay, so that covers Black Empire, which is actually the biggest assault, so I'm kind of happy to be done with making this video and getting it up for you guys. It's the heavy duty one. So I have 2 more for you that are good for farming some stuff. The Mantid Assault doesn't really have anything, so I don't think I'm going to do anything for Mantid. There's really nothing. Mantid's more for gear, I guess. And yeah, so I will be doing one for the Amethit, even although the Amethit really only has 1 thing you farm, but whatever. It's a mount, so it's an important one. And I will also be doing one for the Akira Assault. And yeah, so keep your eye out for the last 2 assaults that I will have on the channel tomorrow. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.